Okay, so everyone, hello and welcome to the EL Civics Network meeting for April 29th, 2026. All right. Uh-oh. Where did my... Here we go. Okay. All right, so here's our agenda for today. So we have this CDE update, civic participation in IELCE, citizenship prep, and other information. And then we have a presentation today by our very own Paul Kratzer. He's going to be talking about eWorks. All right, so starting with the CDE update. So just to remind you, the latest WIOA State Network meeting, it was on April 7th, and you can watch that meeting through this recording link that I'll send you after the meeting's over. So I'll send you the slides after the meeting, and then when you receive the slides, you'll be able to click on the links. All right. Their next meeting is May 5th, 2026. So if you wanted to register for that meeting, I have a link here for you also. All right, so moving right along to civic participation in IELCE. All right, so for the IELCE report and plan for 243 agencies, plans have been submitted and they're being reviewed right now. Submitters should hear from the reviewer on or before May 15th. We've had to shuffle some assignments around, so it may be very close to May 15th when you first hear from your reviewer. So please be patient with us. So it may be the first or latter communication, depending on the rating scale. So remember that there are three ratings. So adequate, adequate with CDE review, and not adequate. So adequate with CDE review means that one or more program is rated adequate and one or more programs is rated not adequate. Okay. And the last one, the not adequate rating, is for agencies with reports rated not adequate may receive targeted technical assistance to improve the rating if possible. But remember that enrollment cannot be improved. We don't have a time machine. We can't go back in time and enroll students. So that is one of the things that agencies will get a rating of not adequate if there's zero enrollment. Okay. All right, and our COAP submission deadline and the last day to add, edit, or delete COAPs for this program year is tomorrow, April 30th, 2026. So if you haven't selected or you need to make any last minute changes, please make sure to do that because after tomorrow, you will not be able to do that. So, of course, do not delete COAPs for which your agency has already administered assessments. And make sure to download your co-ops into TE. So a lot of people, sometimes they forget this last step and they're like, where did my co-ops go? So make sure to download your co-ops into TE. All right, so moving on to revisions, we've had one revision to 52.1 task 4. The description was revised, so it now reads, so this one is identify appropriate and inappropriate work school community behavior, and this is for the advanced level only. So students, advanced students will write 3 to 5 paragraphs. And so the new part is in green. It says in an appropriate communication method, such as an email, report, article, blog post, essay, etc. Comparing or contrasting worker, learner, community member expectations in one's country or culture of origin and in the United States using scenarios from task 1 as examples. So the description was updated so that you can use more electronic forms of communication. So not just the traditional essay, although the essay is still viable, is a viable option. But you can use other forms of communication like email or blog post. So just an update to that. And there is a link here to the document revisions to co-ops 2526. And on it, anything that's been updated since July 1st is in green. So, and this is brought up by one of the agencies using 52.1, saying that can we add or can we edit it a little bit to add something else. So if you or your agency, you have any ideas about ways to improve what's in the COAPs, please send an email to elcivics@casas.org and we can work with you to see if there's a way we can accommodate your improvements to the COAPs. So, okay, next. All right, so this is about summer school. So how do I select co-ops for summer school 26-27? So for option one, with the pre-approved co-ops, for summer school programs, which will complete 30 hours of instruction and post-test on or before June 30th, you need to use the 25-26 pre-approved co-ops and select them before April 30th, tomorrow's deadline. Okay, so if you're planning to do summer school that you'll complete everything on or before June 30th, you need to include those on your co-op selections for 2025-26. So for summer school programs, which will begin instruction before or after July 1st, and then we'll complete 30 hours of instruction and post-test in July or August of 2026. So if your agency falls into this category for summer school, you need to use the new 2026-27 pre-approved co-ops and select them on or after July 1st. All right. And there's also this option 2 and 3 co-ops. So agencies may use any 2025-26 approved co-op, option 2 and option 3 that they selected in 2025-26 for the summer school 26-27. So if you have one of these, you can use the one from that you had for this year for the summer school 2026-27. And these are all from the Civic Participation and IELCE FAQ document. So, all right. So a little bit about the focus areas. So to earn payment points in EL Civics, the agency must be funded for. So we have 3 categories here. So Citizenship Preparation, that's 231. So payment points earned for passing CIT or Government and History test and pre-post test. That's 231. We also have Civic Participation, 231. And then lastly, we have the IELCE 243. So payment points for the 243 are earned by students passing co-op assessments and having a pre-post CASAS test. So we need the pre-post is very important. So please check your funding, and if you have any questions, contact your CD consultant if you wish to add funding in one of these areas. All right, so CAPE and the co-op system. So if you're a CAPE-only agency, CAPE agencies can utilize the California co-op system for instruction and assessment of students to demonstrate immigrant integration indicators. So that's I3 outcomes. And in Top's row records I3 outcomes, not payment points for CAPE agencies. So you can click on this link here to see the California Adult Education website more on that. And then increasing CAPE I3 outcomes to demonstrate program effectiveness using co-ops. So the co-ops can be used with ABE, ASE, and CTE students. Co-ops can be used to plan instruction and assessment to demonstrate efficacy in real-life tasks, because co-ops are, they do a lot of real-life tasks, such as completing a job application, consulting with a school counselor, making a consumer complaint, and then ABE, ASE, and CTE students can achieve CAPE Immigrant Integration Indicator outcomes by passing a co-op assessment. So it's a little bit different. It's not pay points, they're I3 outcomes. And so this is like a crosswalk for what level you should be using for your ABE, ASE, and CTE students. So for your ABE, ASE, NRS level, so we have the levels here. If, for example, it's a level 1 and their reading scores 203 and below, that is the intermediate low. That would be the appropriate level to use for those students. And so it explains it for level 2 and then also for level 3 to 6. Okay. So the ESL co-op instructional level is all the way to the right. So you can use the appropriate level for your students. And of course, all this is on the CASAS EL Civics webpage, which is the bottom link here. All right, and so for a successful co-op implementation for CAPE agencies, you can see these documents for further information and support. So like I said, once I send you these, the slides, you'll be able to click on either of these 2 links to get more information. Sorry, I seem to have a frog in my throat. Okay, so developing new co-ops. So we're thinking of a possible new co-op in with phlebotomy. So if your agency is thinking about starting a phlebotomy IELCE program, or you would think that this would be a useful thing that you would like to be a part of, please email me at sfitzpatrick@casas.org so that we can form a focus group to try to write a new co-op. So nothing's been done yet. We just, an agency asked us, well, maybe in the future, when our program gets approved, it would be really helpful if there was a co-op specifically for phlebotomy. So that's where that started. So if you're interested, please send me an email and we'll get a group together and try to get this done. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so speaking of new materials, I just wanted to point your attention to the EL Civics Exchange. We do have 22 sets of materials. And new for this year, we have 19.7 Immigrants' Rights and 72.2 Safety in Building and Construction Trades. So the website where you can get to the EL Civics Exchange is elcivics.otan.us. And so if you're developing new co-op materials, please think of making them accessible, so 508 compliant. We do have an accessibility guide that you can go by, or you can contact OTAN, Anthony Burek at OTAN. He is the contact person. He can help you out with making your new instructional materials accessible. So once they are, you can submit it to the EL Civics Exchange and share it with the entire adult education community so that we can use your materials. All right, so OTAN also has some resources. So the OTAN EL Civics resources are now available on Canvas. Right now we have specifically 33.7 employment and 1.6, which is banking, both for the advanced levels listed on the EL Civics Exchange. And we're developing an additional 10 to 12 resources this spring, and we'll add them once they are available. So OTAN is going to be doing a presentation about this at the Summer Institute about what will be available on Canvas. So you may want to attend that session during the Summer Institute. And so how to access these resources, it's a multi-step. It's kind of not as streamlined as we like, but so it's officially housed on the California Adult Education Canvas Commons. It's a subset of Canvas Commons, and for the first time, if your agency is logging into it, you need a one-time form to gain access. And so what's there is the EL Civics as well as other OTAN and agency resources. So to visit the OTAN Canvas page or for more information, you can click on this California Adult Education Canvas Commons link here at the bottom. Okay, and next is Portia.
Thank you, Stephanie. Okay, go ahead to the next slide. There we go. As you know, we have a citizenship interview test. It's a one-on-one interview. and you have to be certified to offer this test. It is not the USCIS exam, but it is a test of readiness to pass the USCIS naturalization interview. And it's not a pre-post test. The student gets a score of 206 or above, and they get a pass. If they don't pass the first time, there's a second form. The students can be tested with the second form after some remedial instruction. And the next one. Next slide. Thank you. Certification is closing as of tomorrow. So if you need to be certified to be a CIT examiner, you will do that after July 1st. You'll also get a longer certification period by waiting. It's very late right now. It's a multi-step process and it takes a bit of time. So if you need to certify, again, July 1st, it will open. You can sign up and you can go through the training and become a certified CIT administrator. The next one. Next one. Government and history test is another option. This one needs no particular certification. If your students pass this one, they get a payment point. They need to be enrolled in a 231 citizenship participation class and have a pre and post CASAS test in order to earn the payment point. It's based on the USCIS 100 questions, but it's being updated to the 128 questions. It's in the process of being field tested. And when that's complete, the test will be released and you'll be able to use the newer version. Next one. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Portia. Okay. All right, so other information. Come on. All right, here we go. All right, so COAB Online Entrepreneurship Institute. So if your agency has this entrepreneurship type of class, and you're looking to include it in your programming, COAB has an online entrepreneurship institute for adult educators and service providers. It's aligned with the U.S. Entrepreneurship Certification Examination, equipping adult educators and service providers with the content, knowledge, instructional strategies, curriculum, and resources they need to successfully prepare adult learners to pass the U.S. Entrepreneurship Certification exam. So if you're interested, please click on this flyer for upcoming dates. It came out from the COAB newsletter. So if you're interested, please take a look at that flyer. All right, so we were asked if anyone has any good ideas, any suggestions for resources for steps listening and reading. So specifically, Lori went to a conference and a teacher from a prison setting asked this. They said, we're looking for resources to help students achieve a 202 in the level C test. And reading resources for students at the low intermediate reading level, so 207 to 217. So if you have any suggestions for resources, please, you can type them in the chat or you can send me an email with that resource and we can share it out with everyone. Not sure if there's anything in the chat right now, but we're just trying to help this teacher get some more resources. So.
And maybe this is Lori, and maybe other people could use them too. So we're talking about instructional materials that they could use for listening. What kinds of things are you using? Are you just using your textbook that has listening activities, or are you using supplementary materials?
Okay.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, so upcoming dates for EOS Civics Networks meetings. So we have one more before we go to the Summer Institute. So the next one is May 27th. So please let me know if you have something interesting to share or present. And also, if you haven't done so already, please type your name and agency into the chat box. And if you haven't registered already, please do so after the meeting at this website, the CaliforniaAdultEdTraining.org. Okay. And last but not least, just putting it out there, the CASA Summer Institute is June 15th to June 18th. And it's at the Hyatt Regency in Orange County, California. So you can register now. We have, this is a live link to the registration on the CASA's website. So we hope to see you there. Okay, so we are now to our presentation. Paul, are you here?
Let me turn my camera on.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Can I share my screen, Stephanie?
Yes, let me get there. Hold on a second. Of course, it's alphabetical. I have to go all the way down to Paul. Where are you, Paul?
Okay.
Stephanie, you might be at the top too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, hold on. Okay, so you should be able to share now. Let me stop sharing.
Try now. Okay. All right. So thank you, Stephanie, for giving me the chance to speak to eWorks and COAP 52. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Paul, and I'll be talking with you a little bit about eWorks and COAP 52.3. So let me see if I can share this with you right now. Are you able to see my screen? Yes? No?
Yes.
Yes, Paul.
Yes, you
Yeah.
can. Okay. So my name is Paul. I'm one of the California program specialists. Today we'll be talking about eWorks and COAP 53. You may have heard about eWorks, CASA's eWorks. You may have heard that it's a program for assessing and developing soft skills or workplace behaviors. You probably know that employers are looking for people with better workplace behaviors. They frequently say, we need people with better soft skills. You may have heard that eWorks is a program that helps you assess and develop those soft skills and that it's available at no cost. And you may have also heard that if you use eWorks, with some of your students, you can get payment points. So maybe you've been thinking, wow, this is something that employers are looking for, something that we can do to help our students become work ready, and we can get it at no cost, and we can get payments points. And all of that is true, and that's what we'll be talking about today. So let me jump up. Let's see. So eWorks is part of a COAP, and it's COAP number 52.3, and it's for intermediate, high, and advanced students, ESL students. So our students, any students that have a reading score of 217 or above. So 217 is the cut point for ESL intermediate high. So in the eWorks COAP, there are two tasks. And in task one, the student takes the eWorks assessments, and then they write or speak about areas in which they need to improve. So they are assessed in a number of soft skills, and then they need to speak about the areas that they need to improve in. And then in task two, they write about some workplace situation and what they feel should be done in that situation. So in task one, there's a content A where the student takes two eWorks assessments. There's an assessment of personal qualities and an assessment called customer care. And when they take those two assessments, then they are assessed in 8 soft skills. So they watch 28 very, very short videos. And in doing that, then they get a score in 8 soft skills. So the personal qualities assessment assesses them in 5 soft skills: integrity, responsibility, self-management, self-esteem, and sociability. And then the customer care assessment assesses them in decision-making, customer relations, and commitment to quality. So they're tested in 8 skills, and for each skill, they get a score of some number from 1 to 6. So it's possible for them to earn 48 points, or get a total score of 48. With 8 skills and 6 points per skill, they could conceivably get 48 points. But for content A, if they get 40 points, they add up all the scores of add up all the points of their 8 skills. And if they add them up and if they reach 40, then then they earn the maximum points in that COAP. So any score from 40 to 48 would give them the maximum number of points for task 1. And then content, let me see if I can get down to the next slide here. Where's my mouse? Whoops, that's not what I want to do. Content B. Let me see. Oh, I got lost here. There we are. Okay, let me back up a little then. So what they do is they go to the student portal, which looks like this. They click on their eWorks button, and that takes them to the eWorks portal that looks like this. They can click on soft skills test, either under customer care or personal qualities, and they can take the test. When they click on the soft skills test button, that takes them to the AlignMark portal. AlignMark is CASA's partner, which has developed these soft skills assessments. They click on My Assessments, and they can take either a customer care assessment or a personal qualities assessment or both. And once they've done both, then they get a report that looks like this and gives them scores for each of the soft skills. So you can see this student scored a 6 in integrity, a 5 in responsibility, and some lower numbers in the other skills. So the student would be assessed in all 8 skills, and they can add up their 8 scores and hopefully get a score of 40 or more. And then we go to content B, where the student selects 4 skills with low scores, and they can describe orally or in writing some workplace situation that illustrates those skills and how would they improve the skills that are expressed in those situations. So the situations may come from the assessments that they watched, or from real life situations, or some situation that they just made up off their head, a fictional situation. And that's what they do for task 1. They watch the eWorks assessments and they write about a situation. So again, they go back to their profile and they look for skills where they scored low. Like in this case, self-management was one of this student's low scoring skills. And they write about a situation that illustrates this skill. For task 2, they use the CASAS eWorks assessment guide for COAP 52.3. And you can get this by writing to me. My email address is eWorks@casas.org. You write to me and I'll send you this assessment guide. And what you do for task 2 is the student will watch videos or read about 3 more situations that they find or that you find on the CASAS website at the eWorks resources page. And so they watch or read about 3 more situations, and the student chooses one of them and writes about it. They write about they're given 4 options, and they have to write about the best and the worst of those 4 options. And they think of another option that might be better than the best that are given, or worse than the worst that are given. And they write about that option too. So another option that's not one of the 4 that are given to them. And they also write about the situation in terms of how a person might respond to it in another country, and whether that would be different in their country than it is in our country. So those are the things that they do for task 2. So we have task 1 and task 2, and that's all they need to do for this COAP. But on your end, as a teacher, you'll be going to the CASAS website and looking for the instructor's guide, which is where the other 3 videos and other 3 situations are that you would show the students, and they would choose from one of them for task 2. So if you were thinking about doing this COAP, there's a few things that you'll want to do ahead of time. You'll want to write to me at eWorks@casas.org and request me to give you some eWorks training, which we do together one-on-one on Zoom. Then you'll want to contact our orders department to order eWorks units. eWorks units are no cost, but you still need to order them from our orders department. Then you'll want to identify students who have a reading score of 217 or above, which would be intermediate, high, or advanced ESL students. And then in the teacher portal, you'll want to enroll students in eWorks, and you'll want to enroll students in AlignMark. You remember a few minutes ago I said that AlignMark is CASA's partner. So AlignMark is the company that has created these soft skills assessments and courses. But in order for your students to use the AlignMark part, you need to enroll them with AlignMark. Also, you want to invite your students to create student portal accounts, or if you're using TE, you can create student portal accounts for them. So in one way or the other, you want to have your students create student portal accounts. And then you'll want to write to me again and ask for the CASAS eWorks assessment guide for COAP 52.3, task 2. And let me show you So this is the screen that shows you the teacher portal and the things that you would do in teacher portal. You'll use that graduation cap icon. You can see the little graduation cap at the bottom of the screen. You'll use that to enroll your students with eWorks and enroll them with a line mark, and to look at your student scores in the eWorks profile. And you can also issue an eWorks certificate for them. Even though it's not part of the co-op, you can do that. And we find that students really like getting certificates to show what they've done in eWorks. That's about what I wanted to show you as far as screenshots and so on, and a bit of an introduction. I'll take a few questions right now. Otherwise, you can always write to me at eworks@casas.org. Any questions off the top? If after I take a couple of questions, if we have time, if Stephanie says we have time, we can go online and I'll show you what this looks like live, so you don't have to look at static screenshots. But right now, does anybody have a quick question about eWorks?
Oh, there's one in the
chat?
In the chat, could it be considered IET?
Well, you can certainly use eWorks as part of your IET program, as part of your IELCE program.
But they still would have to be, they would have to be enrolled in a CTE class as well.
Right. Yeah. But you can use it. You can definitely use it that way. Or if you don't want to use it that way, you can incorporate eWorks activities into any existing classes. Or some schools will just create an eWorks class that meets for an hour or two a week and invite students from other classes to join that class. So there's various ways that the program is being used. So yes and yes, I guess is the answer to that.
Yes, and there's some chat about it's usually used, it can be considered workforce prep training. And then there's another question about teacher portal. Can you do this without giving a student portal?
Yeah, no, the student needs to have a student portal account in order to use in order to do the online assessments. You don't have to have a teacher portal account. You can go to TE, or your TE person can create student portal accounts in TE. So it's not, you still need to go to teacher portal to enroll them with a line mark. So somebody at your agency needs to be able to go into teacher portal, whether it's the individual teacher or your data manager. Somebody needs to go into teacher portal and enroll the students with a line mark. Okay. And your other question, I forgot the other question, Barbara. Oh, workplace, probably more suitable for workforce prep than workforce training.
Thanks. I was just reading off the.
Okay.
Message. I'm going to read you. Excellent.
Okay. Stephanie, do we have time to go online for a minute?
Sure.
Okay. So let me stop sharing this. And then share again. I'll show you what this looks like live. So are you seeing the screen now that has the five young people on it?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the home page of the teacher portal or student portal. So a teacher or a student would come here to log into teacher portal or student portal. So I'll log into the teacher portal real quick, show you what this looks like in case you haven't seen the teacher portal. The teacher logs in here. They can see their classes. We can open up one of the classes. There's a bit of a dashboard that gives the teacher an overall look at their students' reading and math and listening scores. And teacher can take attendance here if your school is using this tool for attendance. There are a number of class reports here, class level reports and student level reports. But for our purposes, we open up the Students tab and we can see the list of all the students, when they joined the class, when their last CASAS test was, and so on. And we can use the graduation cap icon, like I showed you before, to put students in eWorks, to take a student out of eWorks, to enroll them with a line mark, to look at the eWorks profile that I showed you a minute ago that gives you all of the students' levels. We see this student has a high level of integrity and not quite as high in responsibility or self-esteem. So this is what the student will see and what you will see once the student has taken the soft skills assessments. So these are the things that you do in the teacher portal. And if I get out of the teacher portal, I'll log out of this. We go back to that home page. And after the student has their own account, they can sign in as a student and they can see the student portal. And this is what the student sees. They can see the name of your school. They can see a number of buttons here, show them what class they're in and how they're progressing towards their goals. They can see CASAS practice tests. They can see if they've taken any surveys. But if you've enrolled them with eWorks, then they can click on the eWorks button, and that takes them to the eWorks portal where they can see their different levels in the different areas. They can click on the blue button here, and that takes them straight to the Line Mark portal where they can see soft skills courses and they can see soft skills assessments. So there's a customer care assessment. There's a personal qualities assessment, each of which takes about 30 minutes. And the student watches a number of short videos of workplace situations, and that's how we assess their soft skills. If there's time, Stephanie, I'll show you one of the videos from the customer care assessment. It'll take about 3 minutes. We have time for that, Stephanie?
Yes, we do. Go ahead.
Okay, so let me show you one of these videos. It's pretty interesting. You'll see what the student sees. You can see a timer here going down from 30 seconds to 0. After the student watches a short video, then they have 30 seconds to choose the best and the worst of these 4 options. Then after they do that, they can click on confirm and they can go to the next scenario. So I'm pretty sure I turned the sound on. So here we go. Can you hear the sound? I hope so.
In this situation, Lisa is working as a secretary at a car dealership. She works at the front desk where she takes phone calls and then transfers them to the appropriate person. She is supposed to get as much information as she can from the callers before passing them on. She has been told that Mr. McCoy, the owner of the company, is busy today and can't be disturbed. You'll now hear her take a call from a customer.
Hello, McCoy's New and Used Cars. How may I help you?
Yes, I bought a car from you 9 months ago. Since then, I've had to bring it back to have it fixed every single month. I couldn't begin to tell you how much work I've missed since I've owned this car.
Sir, if I could...
Look, I've already called you about this. You people just keep passing me around and you never fix my problem. This time I want action. I want to talk to Mr. McCoy right now.
Which one of the following actions do you think is best, and which one is worst? A. Ask for more information.
Yes, sir, but before I can transfer you, I just need some information. Can you tell me who you spoke to the last time when you brought your car in for service?
B. Ask supervisor how to handle call.
Yes, sir, I understand, but if you'll hold on for a moment, I'll see what I can do. I'll just call my supervisor to see what to do.
C. Take down name and phone number of caller. Promise to have McCoy call back.
Yes, sir, but Mr. McCoy is busy right now. If you'll please give me your name and phone number, I'll have him call you back as soon as possible.
D. Pass call on to Mr. McCoy.
Yes, sir, I'll get him right away. Please hold. Mr. McCoy, I have a customer that needs to talk to you.
Which one of the following actions do you think is best, and which one is worst?
So at this point, the student has 30 seconds. They choose the best and the worst of these options, and then they move on to the next situation. So during these 2 assessments, the customer care assessment has 14 short videos like that. And the personal qualities assessment has 14 more short videos. So after the student does both assessments, they will have watched 28 short videos like that one. And then they can go back to their student portal where they were, and they can see their scores. And this is what they do for task 1 of the COAP. They look at their profile, they look at their scores, they add up the numbers of their scores, and their goal is to reach a total of 40 if they add up their 8 scores. So this is what the student does in the student portal and the AlignMark portal in order to complete task 1. Okay, and then on the, you've seen what the teacher does in the teacher portal. You've seen what the student does in the student portal. And if we go to the CASAS website, I'll show you what you do for task 2. So in the CASAS website, if you were to search for eWorks resources in the search box, you can use that link to get you to the eWorks resources page. And down in the scroll down a little bit, there's an instructor's guide here for WRS learning experience. That's where you would go to complete task 2 or to help your students complete task 2. Okay, so these are the things that we do, that you'll do in the teacher portal and your students will do in the student portal and that you would do on the CASAS website. Okay, so that's about all I have for today. Any other quick questions before we sign off? Anybody?
Well, everyone wants to know what's the correct answer.
You would like to know that. I guess you're just going to have to take that assessment yourself and see how you do.
So there's a question, is anyone using eWorks embedded into a class so that the HSC students can receive credit?
Can they receive high school credits, you mean?
Yeah, I think so. The question's from Janet Hernandez. Janet, do you want to unmute and explain? Oh, Janet says yes.
So, I mean, obviously it takes a little time for them to do the assessments and to do courses and so on. So they use up hours to do those things, whether they do them in class or at home. Would that help them in the class? If you keep track of the hours that they spend doing this? I guess I'm not sure what qualifies as HSE credit. I don't know how people get HSE credit, I guess. So I'm not quite sure how to answer that question.
I think you'd have to determine what the class is and then embed it into an HSE class. I don't think you have enough hours to do a regular HSE class.
So then somebody put in the chat about it being an elective.
Yeah.
So I suppose that would be up to the school whether it could be an elective, right? There's nothing from our end or from my end that determines whether it's an elective or not. So I'm not sure how that would work. So ESL students and high school diploma students could certainly do it. Anybody can do eWorks. They don't need to be ESL students. It's great for ABE and ASE students also, and CTE students. It's a good resource for anybody to use. Does that answer the question? Okay, Janet says that.
Yeah, I think that she got the information she needed.
Okay, good. Yeah, as far as the COAP, COAPs are often done by ESL students, but it's not strictly an ESL program. Are pre and post test scores needed for payment points? No, if you're using it as a COAP, well, yeah, I guess so. If you're using it as a COAP, then you need to have a pre and post test as you would for any COAP, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
You have to have a pre and a post, but you don't have to have gain.
Oh, is it with other COAPs? Do you need to have a gain on your pre and post test?
No.
This is the same as any other COAP. If you want to earn a COAP payment point, then you are required to do a pre and a post test. So it's not different than other COAPs. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. I don't see any others. Barbara, did I miss any questions?
I think they're covered. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you.
Wait,
Thank you.
there's a pre and post test score needed for payment points for, okay, we did that one. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for your time, everybody. You can always reach me. It's an easy email address, eworks@casas.org. Any questions or comments, or if you want to get started on eWorks. Okay? So thank you,
All right.
everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul. All right. What happened to my screen here? Okay, so anything else? Any other questions before we finish off the meeting for today? You can type it in the chat or you can unmute and ask your questions if you have any questions. And I know, thank you, Portia, you've been answering questions in the chat during the
It's a pleasure.
meetings. All right.
If I may, I'm sorry, if I may, I just wanted to add that this is Ana Mendoza from OTAN, and we do have DLAC applications that are open in case anyone is interested. I will be posting the link on the chat box in case anyone wants to join DLAC and be able to work on specific projects that you have in mind. And of course, OTAN will be supporting you for 2 years to reach those goals. So that's it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Anna.
And Stephanie,
Anyone
you might
else?
want to remind them about promising practices.
Yes. So the deadline has passed, but if you still have them, we can squeeze you in. So if you have any questions or you're looking for the nomination form, just please send me an email, sfitzpatrick@casas.org, and we can get that going. So thank you, Portia.
And Renee has her hand up.
Yes. Go ahead, Renee.
Hi, thank you. My name is Renee. I'm a transition specialist over at the Monterey Adult School. I'm a newbie to the adult world, or the adult school world, so I apologize if this is kind of like an ignorant question, but I do have a question about just the phlebotomy. So we partner with our local community college, and we're actually offering a phlebotomy class here. But if we were to offer like a co-op, like tagged onto that, like let's say before the phlebotomy class starts, or like, yeah, like maybe an hour before the phlebotomy class starts, would we be able to, I know right now we can't get payment points because it's more for ESL, I believe, right? At least with the eWorks. But is that something down the line we would eventually we'd get a payment point and it would count for is it IELCE or IET?
So it would be for ESL students that are part of the the IELCE program. So the way that works is you have your phlebotomy class, that's the training, and then you would have a some sort of workforce preparation and or ESL class that is the language support. And so as part of that language support or the workforce prep, you could teach the co-op for phlebotomy, which would support the training class that would, that they end up getting a certificate to become a phlebotomist. So that's the way that would work.
And could we receive, so we are able to also receive, I guess, like points for that because even though the adult school is not offering the actual phlebotomy portion, it's through our partner, but we're offering the ESL component or.
Exactly. So the agency that's offering the ESL support, that's the agency that would get the payment points for their students passing the co-op assessment.
Okay, great. Thank you for the clarification.
You're welcome. All right. Any other questions? Let's see. Let me just look through the chat real quick. I don't see any. Anyone else? Want to raise your hand or unmute? Ask a question. Okay. All right, well then we're going to go ahead and close the meeting. Thank you for attending. And like I said, if you have anything interesting or something to share with the EL Civics Network, please email me, sfitzpatrick@casas.org, and we can have you do a presentation and let everybody know about what you're working on. So, all right, thank you very much for attending. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the recording. Maybe there's somebody out there that's very shy and wants to ask their question off the recording. So,
Stephanie, can I jump in real quick?
Sure.
Stephanie, somebody was asking whether eWorks could be used as an elective. So I just put a note in the chat that said if anybody would like some assistance with that, if they have any ideas how we can work together to help eWorks be an elective, then let me know. And my email is there, eworks@casas.org. So I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Paul. And let me stop the recording.